Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jersey and today I'm bringing you my very first build here in RuneScape DragonWilds, and I'm excited because this is gonna be just a very simple home base where we can have a little workstation, have containers so we can put our stuff, because in the early game it's going to be very important. And you know, we want to at least to look nice, right? Because I know we're going to go keep exploring, we're going to find great things, we're going to have better building tools, better walls, better decorations, but at the moment, you know, we want to have something nice in the early game, right? And not something too complicated to build, but something that can be beneficial for all of us. So when we can do our workshop, we can go and teleport and do our little rooms and just do a little bit of everything. So as you can see, we are starting right here with the foundation and we're going the high level. I'm behind the tower where the wizard is. There's my very first home. I just did on stream, just very simple, right? Because we were just moving along. But we're building this behind it where it's a little more flat. So what we're doing is doing the foundation as high as we can, and then we're putting a floor on the other side, but not on the ground. We want it just a tad elevated. Now there is two snapping tools that you can do. You got the basic and the more engaged. The more engaged lets you move things a little bit better. Now RuneScape is a little bit different compared with a lot of builder games out there, just the way the mechanic is. So it's something that we just gotta get used to, but I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. Okay, after that, you're gonna put some walls on the very top section, right? And we're gonna work on a little staircase that's gonna go over here. Now, the one on the top, this is just your home, right? So this is where you're gonna put your bed and any other decoration that you want in the early game, or maybe you wanna put the little tool rack that we get very early on, and you can just display some of that stuff if you want it. So, you know, it's more like you gotta make up your mind, what would you like to put in there? Now, for me, that is just gonna be basically for sleeping and maybe putting the tables and stuff like that just for decoration. My main concern is to doing the outside. That's where we are gonna do most of the work. So as you finish the very top one right over there, right, you can go ahead and start working on the walls on the bottom. So nice and simple. Again, we want something simple when it comes to the very first base, something that's not gonna take a long time to build, and something that's gonna be very functional, right? So as you can see over here, we put in the wall, we put in the other section, and this we're gonna have a roof, but we're gonna have the front of the wall, we're gonna leave it completely open. We wanna be accessible, we wanna just to be able to go in and out. On the top area, on the one corner, we're gonna put triangle pieces, and we're gonna put the other triangle pieces over here. Now, when it comes to the roof, you can make the roof a little more slanted if you want to. I'm going with a little 45 degrees. That way I can have a little more height. That way when I go in, the roof is not just so close to the character's height, right? Now, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna add a little bit of the support unit with this support beam, just to give it a little bit of character into the build. Now again, everything there is a lot of brown, right? So it's not gonna be like it's not gonna stand out too much, but it does give it something. I did the same thing around the porch area, and now what we're gonna do, we're gonna create a little fence, you know, a little guardrail, right? Because it looks too plain and I don't like it. We don't have actual fencing yet, so we gotta build our own. Now this part was a little bit tricky to understand and to learn. It didn't come out as perfect as I wanted. I think as I play along, we're gonna learn more. So I'll continue to practice using all these different tools when it comes for a different build. But for the now, I just wanted to go build a little rail like going up the stairs, and then another little rail that's gonna go around the top of the home. And again, pick and matching these little ones over here. Something that I learned later on is if I work my way backwards, right here, you see how I extended it and it went longer. I couldn't shrink it, and I was like, but if I would have put the other piece in the bottom first, right, the little a pole that's gonna go up on from the deck, and then put the piece, I actually did it a lot better when it came later on, so you're gonna see it. But over here, what I did, because that was extended, so I just extended a little bit of the gap. Now, if you can do that a lot better and you don't have to do that the way I did it right there. But again, it's a little bit tricky using these pieces, but I think the more you do it, the better you will get. You can see how like this one is the wrong one, so I'm grabbing another one that kind of has a little bit better height, and I'm doing the same thing over here. And on this side, just attach it completely, but then on this side, I can't go as high. See, it won't work. Now, if I would have done it the other way, like I said, and I would have put the piece from the floor up first and then attach it down, then it would have come out great. But again, that's how you learn doing all of this and kind of experimenting. But what I did, I just put the long one attaching right there and just keep going. Now there is this game, you do need support. So sometimes as you're building, it will tell you at one point that you need support structure. But something that I found out is that it can go pretty far before you actually have to do that. So I kind of like that. That way we can continue to build the way we want to build. But as you can see, it's coming along nicely. We got the little rail going around the home, and that alone already gives it a little bit something, right? And because you could have kept it completely empty, but the empty look didn't give it the way what I wanted. I wanted this something that again will look good for your first base. So when you come to your base every time, you feel like yes. And again, this particular base can be tweaked to your liking. You can expand the porch area. You can make it a little bit bigger. You can do a wraparound porch all the way around the home if you wanted. I almost thought about doing that, just wrapping around this side and wrapping it around the other side. And I may still do that depending on what we unlock before I go to the next base. But I'm thinking that this is going to be one of my friends' home base. I've been playing with him, and I think I'm going to give this out to him, and then I'm going to work on another one that's going to be maybe a little bit bigger, and that way for someone that may feel like this is too small but they still want our early on base, we'll work on a kind of bigger one. And if you want to know that and keep following, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe so you can follow along and keep watching while we're building. Now over here, what I wanted to do, I wanted to kind of enclose the roof, so we did a little line over here. We're doing a little roof design for the inside. I think that is gonna look really nice. So we're doing like a little middle partition. Again, you gotta go not on the basic but the advanced, so you can raise that little half wall a little bit higher. And then we're doing this little top over here, kind of give it a little runway. Again, you don't have to go this extra mile, and if you don't want to do all that, you can just put the roof if you want it, but I wanted something nice. Now over here, I'm experimenting with the little rune that lets you build what is flying, right? This part, it was tricky, and I wanted to zoom out. I zoom out. I finally figured out how to go up, how to go down, but I needed to go back out so I can see more, and I could not figure out. It is a little bit tricky. It's not the simplest way to utilize it again, but I managed to do it. I think everybody's gonna learn how to use it. I think we just need one more button or something that can let us zoom out. If you know how to do that, please let me know down in the comment. I've been playing with controller, so if it's not in controller and if it's mouse and keyboard, then also let me know. But as you can see, I'm putting the roof. What I did is extend the roof like halfway in the back and halfway in the front. That way it has a little lip in the front. I think that will look really nice. And again, you see over there, in the back was a little more back, so I kind of had to fix the front. You see the front is not completely the same thing as the back, so we're gonna extend that now. So here we go again. We're gonna in the little flying mode here. I like the feature. I think it's very convenient than having to build like staircases, so this is gonna be an important feature, because if we want to start doing more bigger and bigger builds, we are gonna use this a lot. I'm just hoping that we can zoom out and we can see more, so it's a little more comfortable the way we want to place things. But again, maybe it's already there and I didn't find it, so if you know, let me know. Now on the bottom side over here, you see how we're doing the roof in a different way. This is something that I wanted done on purpose, and this is like very popular. You see it a lot and in survival bases. but kind of like that extended workshop area and a little open. It has that medieval feel, and that is something that I wanted. So when you come over here, I don't want that gap there. So again, we're gonna grab some of the triangle pieces. We're gonna put it right there, just filling it in. We have a little gap in the back. This is when I didn't notice. I noticed way too late, and I didn't want to delete everything. I didn't have the floor exactly aligned. Somehow I missed it. I didn't notice. So what I did, I'm using the little support beams here and kind of just fill that gap, and the gap is done. Sometimes that's what you gotta do when you're designing, right? But again, we're putting one in the back over there. We're gonna put one in the front. Now I do want in the inside here, cover this hole here. I don't want to see through there. So again, we're gonna use the little half full square here, and we're gonna fill that in. And then right underneath here, this is our little workshop area. This is where we want to put right now in the early game. We're gonna put the workbench. We're gonna put the spinning thread wheel. We're gonna put the little rack that does the leather. We're gonna do where you can do the pottery and the cauldron. All of that is gonna be right inside there. On the outside, we're gonna have the little furnace. On the other side, we're gonna have a little bit of the cooking station, and then the teleport and the runestone where you craft your runestone is gonna be on a little more on the outside. You're gonna see how we build that, or if you saw the thumbnail, then you know. So over here, I'm fixing a little bit of the floor. Couple things I didn't like. I didn't like to see all these little legs everywhere. It was kind of bothering me. So what I was like, wait a minute, I don't need the foundation now. I can just kind of delete that and put in the normal floor that doesn't have the legs, because technically I already got support beams, and that worked out great. And it looks a little more clean in the front. Now, accidentally I deleted the window, so we had to re-put that there. But as you can see, everything is coming together. You can see in the back here where everything kind of extended, and I didn't cut it, but we put in more support beams just to give it that look on the outside, matching the rest of the home. And now we're gonna do a little wraparound porch over here on the side. This is where we're gonna put the little furnace, and we have a location for it. And I like the way it's coming out so far, right? It's looking good. We have a way to go in and out. It looks nicer, right, than just a square and that's it. So, you know, we're giving this little depth and dimension, and I'm really enjoying the way this design is coming out. Okay, then as you can see over here, we gotta put a little fencing eventually. We're gonna put it right there in the front, kind of what we did in the little balcony for the home, right? That little porch balcony area. So we want to do that. Now over here, what we're doing is extending, coming up from the stairs and making a little walkway, and then we're using the triangle pieces to make it a little bit circular here. And right here, we're gonna put that little teleport. So I went ahead and got it, and I'm gonna put it here, and it's kind of like a little cool platform, because imagine every time you're gonna teleport and come back home from anywhere, you're gonna land right there, and you're gonna be at home, bam, and it's gonna take you straight to where you need to go, to your workshop and all of that. As you can see, I already started adding a lot of the other stuff. We got a lot of the equipment. Slowly we're gonna add more storage area over here. This is when I'm building the little railway, right? So we're gonna do is sinking down completely, and then we raising it 4 clicks once it disappear. Again, I'm using the controller here, so it's kind of like you gotta hold B, and then you use either the left trigger or the right trigger to go up and down. So that's how I'm doing. Keyboard's a little bit different, but I just kind of disappeared it completely and then brought it 4 high, and that's how I did my measurement. The great thing about this, it gave legs on this side that we didn't have, so now it looks even nicer, right? Everything's working together. Again, to me, this gives it a nice little look and just makes it a little more clean and more finished. If this is not something that you want to do, then you don't have to do it. Maybe you like it more open, and that is okay too. Over here, I'm trying to put this in. You see how it kind of on the long one is sticking out? I was like, man, that is not what I want. Then I tried the short one, and then this is when I figured out that if I work backwards and put it like that and go there, oh my gosh, it clips in the opposite way. And that's something that I should have done on the top of the railway from the front of the house. Now, again, I already did all that work. I didn't want to do it. And again, these are starting homes, so eventually we're gonna just keep improving and keep building better and better. So over here, again, I couldn't get the corner just right, so we gotta work on this and do kind of the same idea and do the little transition here, going one area on the other area using the small piece. Everything is lining up. I like the way it's going, and then we're gonna kind of clip it into the wall, and now we got something official. Now, one of the last pieces that I needed to add over here out of all the early stuff that we have at this moment is the little where you craft your runestones, right? And I was trying to figure out, I want it here, I want it over there, and at the end I thought, you know what, I want something similar to what I did with the teleporter, right? And just is the place that you're gonna craft your runes so you can do your magic, right? Just to give it a little something, right? At first I tried it low, but I didn't like it, so we're gonna raise it. As you can see right over here, we have a nice little walkway, and we're gonna put the stairs, and then we got the little platform. We're gonna put it just right up there, and it looks real nice. And then I'm gonna put like 2 little storage areas very close, one on one side, one on the other side. Those little storage areas are for stones and runes. That way they're right there. I'm doing my storage, kind of putting storage unit close to the specific machinery and stuff. That way it kind of makes sense why they're there, and we can grab the resources as quick as possible and all of that. There is not like a big design storage area in this base. It's just the storage is close to different areas that we need to. But I designed this little outdoor kind of where we can put kind of the little storage areas a little higher, just to give it again a little dimensions. And I kind of liking this. I'm liking this little idea, and once we put the little top, it looks even better. And I was like, oh my gosh, either that or you make some nice seating benches if you want to look at them as benches as well, because they kind of look like benches, and you can do a nice outdoor seating area. Over here, I wanted to do like a little border. There was something felt like it was unfinished, just having the roof down. So I'm using the smallest square right now, and it has this little X pattern that looks really good. I added also in the front of the staircase, so in the porch, so kind of have that. And then over here, I'm gonna enclose this in the front, and this is just gonna be another area we're gonna put a couple of chests, and these chests will be for either like the plants, the bones, the just kind of stuff like that that you get all the time when you defeat animals, goblins, and you got maybe way too much extra. And so just 4 more chests out here, or as many as you want to fit depending on what you want, and you put them as many, and it's gonna do, do what the job. But now we're gonna walk it through, and this is my first startup base. I hope that you love it. I hope that you maybe want to give it a try. Maybe you want to optimize it. Maybe you want to customize it to the way you want it. But as you can see, we start the little tour right there on the teleporter. We walk down the stairs, and let's say you need to make runestones right away. You come over here, you got 2 chests, you got the stuff, you make your runestone, get back on the teleporter, and you go back to where you need to keep fighting, right? Because it is important. As we turn the camera over here, you see the way it's kind of designed. Again, nice startup, nice and small, not too complicated. We have a little floor over here, foundation that's connecting to all the areas. The rest is just grass around it. Once we go up over here, we get to the workshop area where we have most of the machinery in the early game, right? And so you got your little spinning wheel. We got 2 crates stacked on top together. We got the cooking station, a little crate next to it. We got the pottery, a crate next to it. We got 2 more crates right over there, and we got the cauldron so you can make your potions and all of that. So we're trying to use the space the best as we can, and as we add more equipment, then we can make more space. Over here, we got the furnace so you can make your adhesive and all that stuff that you gotta make. We got 2 crates over here, and again, we got plenty of space so we can even add more crates as we need to. Then on the front over here, this is what I was talking about early. This is just extra chests, just in case all the areas are full. We discover new stuff, we don't know what to do. Maybe we don't have a section where to put them yet, so we can put them over here until we keep kind of expanding the idea of the bases and of the homes and all of that. We're gonna go up the stairs right over here, and then this is that inside the home. Right now it's just 1 bed, and I just put a little light. I do like the roofing system, the way it came out. I like that. It makes it look different when you're in here. Again, you can put a nice bed. There are some decoration stuff that we are getting. Some of them I can't yet because I can't do planks, but I'm about to go to the next area, where we are gonna be hopefully getting all new materials, the new tree, the new wood, getting the bronze, the copper, hopefully iron, who knows. We're gonna discover all of that, and then we're gonna keep expanding and doing more evolutions of the bases. But this is just a simple starting up base. I hope that you enjoy it. I hope that you like it. I hope that this will give you ideas on how to do your base and keep pushing your builds forward. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe if you want to see more videos, and I'll see you all on the next one. All right, guys. See you later. Bye.